question from 10.3 where you're testing two population variances using an F-test. Now, here's the claim, and you're looking at a 5% as your significance given level of significance. This is the first variance. Now remember, that's variance, and if you want standard deviation, you want the square root of that. This is the number of entries in the sample for that particular sample, 22. This is the variance for the second sample, and here's the number of entries in the second sample. Now, what I'm showing you here just tells you that that symbol stands for variance of the first population. This symbol stands for variance of the second population. And this talks about your variance ratio. This is not something you really have to do if you use a calculator, but this is what our answers and our input are going to be. We're going to input these things, and we're going to be told what the F-stat and the p-value are. And I'm kind of going fast through this because I want to get to the calculator part, because most of you are using a calculator, and I really couldn't get a p-value for this problem unless I had some more information. So anyway, once you get your p-value, you compare that to your level of significance, and since the p-value is less than the level of significance, and this is a right tail test, then I'm going to reject the null hypothesis because there is enough evidence to reject the claim. So I'm going to take you to the MyStatLab so you can see where these instructions are and how easy it is to do it on the calculator. So we're going to go to MyStatLab, Tools for Success. And when you get in there, you're going to go down to the Technology Manual, and you're going to the Graphing Calculator Manual. Now, if you remember, I told you this was out of section 10.3. So I'm going to chapter 10 first of all, and then I'm going to open section 3. And here's section 3. There's some examples for section 3. So I'm going to go to section 3. And I'm going to look at this. Now, this one is less than or equal to. It's similar to what we were doing. And so that's the null hypothesis. This would really be what we call the alternative hypothesis. It would be greater than. I know this is a right tail test because it says it's greater than. And the sample stats is going to be 400. There's 10 entries in this example, not like the one that you're getting ready to do on the calculator. 256 in the second variance, and it's the second variance, and 21 entries in the sample. So what you do is you find the stat key on your calculator, and the stat key is sort of in the middle of the calculator. It's over near the up and down arrow buttons. And you'll press stat, and you'll go over to test, and you'll select to sample F-test. And that one's a little bit hard to find because you have to really scroll down to find it. Once you do that, you're going to press stats because you want to input stats. So you'll scroll over to stats and press enter so that it takes it. Then you're going to do the standard deviation of the variance. Well, the variance is 400. The standard deviation would be the square root. So in order to find square root, I have to press second and the square root sign and then enter 400. On the next line, I'm going to enter 10 because that's my sample. Then the next line, I'm going to do the standard deviation of 256. So I'll press second, square root, 256, and I'll enter 21 for the data amount. Once you do that, you go down and highlight the greater than symbol because that's the alternative hypothesis. And once you do that, press enter, and then you select calculate and press enter. And if you look, it tells you everything. There's the p-score, the F statistic, there's the p-score, there's the standard deviation of the sample for one, the standard deviation of the sample for the second sample, and if you scroll down you can see some other things. I think the calculator is the way to go for this.